So guys, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, I want to talk a bit about Ryan Garcia and what people have been saying online about him and what I think is next for Ryan Garcia. Firstly, I've been watching a lot of comments about his performance and the fact that he got knocked down. Listen, I think he showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of heart in that fight. He showed that, he can come from a tough situation. He can go through adversity and he can come back and win against a good fighter in Campbell. Campbell lacked that killer instinct. I do think if Garcia was in there with somebody that had that killer instinct and had that more spite and more venom to their work, I do believe Ryan Garcia would have been in a whole heap of trouble. Campbell kind of backed off, let him off the hook, let him recuperate. Garcia wasn't that badly hurt. He had good recovery. He had very good recovery, actually. Got back straight away to work. But nevertheless, there was a lot of flaws in his games in terms of his defense, him getting caught with a lot of punches. And a lot of people online, I'm on a lot of boxing forums, they've compared him to Amir Khan. They've said that this Ryan Garcia is the 2.0. He's the next Khan. He fights like him, no chin. And, he fights exactly like him. Firstly, it just shows how many casuals and how many people actually know about boxing. Ryan Garcia fights nothing like Khan. And what I mean by that, the only thing that they've got in common is that they've got fast hands. From yesterday's performance, he fights nothing like him. Fights nothing like him. Khan had much better feet, right? Ryan Garcia's flat-footed, which Khan wasn't. And when you've got hand speed and you're flat-footed, that's always a problem. Look at Eubank. If you're going to compare anybody to Garcia, it's Chris Eubank Jr. And the other thing is, they're already writing Garcia's chin off, right? What makes you think Garcia has got no chin? He got hit with a shot, got down, and got back up. To start comparing it, his chin is like Amir Khan, it's a joke. Because we haven't seen him knocked out yet. We haven't seen him against more tougher, stiffer competition. Yeah, we saw him against Campbell, but Campbell's not a big puncher. He never has been a big puncher. And there's so many casuals that don't know boxing. It's frightening online. It's unbelievable. Basically, they were saying, well, they fight the same way. He has his chin tucked up in the air. He fights nothing like him. Khan's feet were a lot faster. Garcia's feet are flat-footed. He gets more power in his shots because he's planting his feet. And he's not moving his feet. Khan moved his feet a lot. Right? So Garcia doesn't fight anything like Khan. He doesn't fight like Khan. And Khan's punches were a lot more accurate. He wasn't wild with his punches. When he threw punches, they were landing. Garcia missed a lot of punches. Campbell at times were making him miss and looking wild. Khan wasn't wild with his punches. When he threw, he landed majority of the times. When he threw a punch, majority of the time, it was like a sniper, it landed. Even when he was throwing combinations, very rarely I saw Khan missing punches. Garcia missed several punches in there. Campbell made him miss a lot in there. Which shows me that when he comes up against a good boxer that can move, his hand speed is a bit like Chris Eubank. Because of his feet not being that fast, right? He can easily be made to miss like Chris Eubank Jr. But Chris Eubank Jr. has a solid chin. Now, so that for me is not a comparison, really. And also, I think it's disrespectful to make out like Khan's a bum and he's achieved nothing. The guy was a former unified champion. Right? So to compare Ryan Garcia to Khan right now, when Ryan Garcia has never even become a world champion, and we don't know if he's going to become a world champion, and I do have my doubts whether he's going to become a world champion, to Amir Khan, a guy that was beaten, 11 former world champions, became a unified champion, I think is a silly comparison because Garcia's nowhere near that level yet. He's achieved nowhere near what Khan achieved yet. Let the guy, Khan climb the mountain. Garcia's yet to climb the mountain. So to start comparing him to even Khan is stupid. Because he hasn't achieved what Khan's achieved in the game yet. Nowhere near, by the way. Let's not forget, I don't even think he's beaten a former world champion. Yeah. And Luke Campbell wasn't a former world champion. He's fought for a world title, but he's not won one. And now I want to go on to Ryan Garcia's fights with Teofimo and Tank. I believe he gets knocked out in those fights. I believe that, yes, he needs to improve massively. He's got a great setup. He's got Eddie Reynoso and Canelo around him. And I'm pretty sure he's going to improve. He's only young. He's going to improve. But in terms of Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez, I feel both those guys. I think Tank can be outboxed, but Tank punches very hard, and Ryan Garcia is open for uppercuts. He's open for left hands. And I think his fighting style is such where he's going to be vulnerable. He's going to get caught with shots. When you get caught on the chin, you're going to go. It doesn't matter who you are. Ryan Garcia is getting caught on the chin. Look at Canelo. How many times does he, although he's got a granite chin, how many times does Canelo get caught on the chin, like flush, like that? Like, this man just got caught flush on the chin by Campbell. Anyone that gets caught by flush, and Campbell's not a big puncher. Anyone that gets caught flush on the chin, they're going to be in big trouble. They're going to be in big trouble. Right? And Ryan Garcia has a lot of flaws because of his fighting style and the fact that he's flat-footed and his feet are flat, because what he's trying to do, he's trying to throw a lot of fast combinations with a lot of power, but you're leaving yourself open as a result of that. You've got to give the guy credit. He showed heart, and he showed that he's got a fighter's heart, which is very important for a fighter to reach the top level. But in terms of the technical ability, right, there are a lot of flaws. And when I say technical ability, I don't just mean the flat-footed. It's the fact that he was throwing wildly. Some of the punches that he was throwing were missing. This is why I thought the comparison with Khan was stupid, because Khan never missed punches. He never threw wildly. When do you ever see Khan missing wildly? Even when he fought Canelo, who's a very skilled boxer, Khan was landing many punches in that fight. In the first 4 rounds, he was landing at will. And Canelo's a very, very good defensive fighter, very skilled fighter. Garcia was fighting Campbell, where Campbell was there to be hit, and Campbell was making him miss. Yes, Campbell's a skilled boxer, gold medalist, I get that. But he's also a guy that can be hit. You know, he's defensively not the greatest. And Campbell was making Garcia miss a lot. So what that showed is, as soon as Garcia came up with a boxer that had a bit about him, had good ring IQ, he made Garcia miss a lot. And Campbell, like I said, I don't think he had that killer instinct. Otherwise, Garcia may have been in trouble in that fight. But from what I've seen from Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez, I think Teofimo Lopez is the more complete fighter at 135. I think he's a good boxer and he can punch. And I think that would be a huge problem for Ryan Garcia. I believe he would get knocked out. And Tank Davis can be outboxed. I don't think he's the greatest boxer out there, but Tank Davis does have serious power. He does have serious power. So Ryan Garcia has more chance against Tank than he has with Teofimo, because Teofimo, for me, is a good boxer. And Teofimo can punch. And that is a recipe for disaster for Ryan Garcia, whereas Gervonta Davis can be outboxed. However, and by the way, Ryan Garcia is bigger than Davis. He's taller, he's rangier, but I don't think he's a good enough boxer to be able to box for 12 rounds against Gervonta Davis. And that's why I think Gervonta Davis would stop him. That's why I think Ryan Garcia gets stopped by those guys. Just because I think those guys are big punchers. And if he gets caught flush, which I believe he would do with the fighting style that he's got, right? Because sometimes it doesn't matter how much you work in the gym and how much you improve. Of course he will improve. It's his fighting style that will always make him vulnerable. When you've got those fast hands, right? And sometimes when you're throwing those fast hands, and especially when you're flat-footed, it's hard for you to get out of the way. Because like I said, when like Chris Eubank Jr., he reminds me more of Chris Eubank Jr., very fast hands, but flat feet. But Eubank Jr. has got a solid chin. Has got a granite chin. He's got a very good chin. Whereas Ryan Garcia got put down, and Ryan Garcia probably has a good chin. But against big punchers getting caught flush like that, you're gonna get put out. You're gonna get put out. It's as simple as that. You're not gonna be able to absorb the punches that he was able to take. Like, I was shocked at how many punches he got caught with against Luke Campbell. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that he was getting caught with that many punches. You know, he got caught with a load of punches. And like I said, Luke Campbell isn't known for being a big puncher at the weight. He's known for being a boxer. And if it was a guy in there that had more killer instinct, you know, I think Garcia would have been in trouble just because of the fact that I think he at times was getting caught way too much and flush. We're talking like taking flush shots, like bang on the chin. When you get caught bang on the chin like that, you're going to get knocked out. You know, Canelo and guys like that, the best fighters don't get caught bang on the chin. There are freaks of nature like Golovkin and, you know, guys like that just have great chins that they can take flush shots. But that's very few and far between. Most of the boxers that I've seen, if you get caught flush on the chin by another quality boxer, you're going to go down. Very few boxers are like Golovkin that just can suck the punches up and the punches just bounce off their chin. Most boxers, when they get caught flush, they go down. And Ryan Garcia is no different, as we saw yesterday. He gets caught flush, he'll go down. But what he showed is he's got heart. I think the criticism towards him is harsh, just because we need to see more. But then also comparing him to like Khan, like it's silly comparisons because technically he's nowhere near Khan's level. His technical ability and technically nowhere near as Khan. I think people forget Khan was a silver medalist. So I think technically he's not you know in the same league as that yet. But we've got to let the guy improve. He's still young. He's going to improve and get better. But in terms of if those fights were to happen next, and he is calling Tank Davis out, and he is calling Teofimo, or not Teofimo, but he's called Tank Davis out. I think Tank knocks him out. If I'm honest, I think Tank's too bigger puncher, and I think Tank can be outboxed, but I think Garcia's not going to be. I don't think, from what I've seen so far, I don't think Garcia is a good enough boxer to avoid getting caught flush by Tank Davis. And I think if Tank catches you flush, I think it's game over, because I think Tank Davis has explosive power. So I don't see him winning those fights, if I'm honest. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree with what I said? Do you think Garcia beats Tank? Do you think Garcia beats Lopez? I don't, but leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.